What's up? Oh, I forgot to turn the light on. Hi, by the way. There we go. What's up, guys? Uh, yeah, we're back here in Wrath of the Righteous. We're gonna be going on and, complaining about the, auto builds again. Hey, Gunner, how you doing today? How's life treating you? All that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to be starting with Sordara. We're going to be doing Sordara. We're going to be doing the base cleric. So down here, this cleric here, wherever the hell it is, this one right here. And then after that, we're going to be going through and doing the Warpriest as well. So, starting off with Sordara. It does go Angel Path, so we are going to be getting the combined spellbook. So we're gonna be going through and looking at that as well. So Oread, I don't remember what Oread gets as stat bonuses. So let's take a look here. Strength of 14, Dex of 12, Con of 16. Dropped it. They really like to drop intelligence. That's something that I've noticed about Owlcat. They really like tanking intelligence. Wisdom of 17 and Charisma of 14. That is one of the things about clerics that I'm not a super huge fan of, at least if you go like melee clerics, is they are very multi-attribute dependent, right? They're a very mad class. Obviously you want strength. Dex, not so much, because you can just go into full plate. So this +1 to Dex is about all you're ever going to really need. But yeah, you're going to want strength. You're going to want con, because you're going to be in melee range if you're a melee cleric. Wisdom, you need high for spell casting. Although you don't really need it that high. You do want to get it to at least 19 so that you can get all 9 spell slots, obviously. Or spell levels, I should say. And then charisma, you want to at least get a couple of points in. Hey, Matt, what's up? Ready for the best no bad choices? Well, we'll see about that. But I think that this stat spread, I think, is fine. They're obviously going to be bumping up wisdom. If they don't, I'm going to be incredibly surprised. I don't know why I'm coughing so much today. Sorry about that. Let's see. What do we got? Persuasion. Yeah. Oh. We got the, okay, so there's a thing. We're an acolyte, so we got the wisdom instead of charisma for persuasion. Okay, that's actually a really good, if you're going to go for a persuasion build on a cleric. The acolyte is a really good background to pick up. So we got a really good persuasion here. Looks like perception as well. No, we have no ranks of perception. I don't know how I feel about that. Nothing in religion. Do we only have 1 rank per level? Holy shit, that's gonna be bad. Wow, we do. We only have 1 rank. Just okay. All right. that's a choice. Starting off with selective channel as our feat, I'm fine with that. That's a pretty important one to get. Although I tend, at least me personally, I tend not to really use channel energy to heal until after the fight is over. Every once in a while, you know, you're forced into a situation, but a lot of times you just use it to kind of recover afterwards. And then these are all just traits for the Oread. It's really hard to make a cleric bad. We will see about that. We shall see. Alright, what do we got? Yep. Level 2, there's literally nothing. Oh yeah, that is one thing. Clerics have, like, no choices. Oh, wait. So we're fire and heal. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, these are good. I mean, like, they're okay. Um, Actually, is it? Is healing... I mean, all of your cure spells are treated as if they are empowered. Question, is this work with heal as well? I assume not. Because it specifies cure spells, not healing spells. Gross. Gross. Not heal. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. That's kind of what I figured. Yeah, the healing one, I'm not a huge fan of. I would have probably taken a different domain here. Fire domain is fine. It gives you a bit of offensive capability with your spells. Especially level 2s. I feel like you don't really have that many level 2 spells that you really want. Outside, I guess the buff spells. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what level 2 spells the cleric has. Well, actually, let's take a look. Yeah, all of the basic buff spells. I guess early game protection from alignment is pretty decent. Especially since a lot of the people that you're going to be fighting are going to be demons and evil characters. So you can definitely pick protection from alignment. I think chaotic is probably the safer bet because you'll probably fight a lot of chaotic neutral and chaotic evil characters at level 3. Or maybe evil. I'm actually not sure. It's been a while since I've played through the game. And it's been even longer since I've actually paid attention to what the alignments are. But yeah, like protection from alignment communal is fine. Restoration lesser is pretty useful. But I mean, like, if you just fill up your spell slots with Scorching Ray from the fire domain at level 2. Yeah, this is gonna choose the mythics too. Yeah, so we have no choices for mythics for any extra domains. They might pick another one, we don't know. Obviously the main one that a lot of people recommend is community. I am also a huge fan of the animal domain because I love me some animal companions. So that would be the two that I would choose, community and animal, but everyone has their preferences. Heavy armor proficiency. I did mention that if we're going to be having this 12 dex, getting heavy armor is probably the right choice. So I'm okay with taking this. I don't know if I would take this early. But again, we have noticed that Owlcat really likes to go defensive first a lot of the times. They really like to focus on defense, especially for melee characters. Sometimes at the expense of literally anything else. So yeah, confirmation, we are going to be boosting up our wisdom here. So the problem that I'm facing right now is if you're a sorcerer or a wizard or something like that, and you're doing these auto builds, you get kind of a sense of what kind of spell build the character's going for based on what choices are made, you know, like, because both wizard and sorcerer, you have to choose what spells you want. You just don't get all of them. But for things like druids or clerics, divine classes, basically, they just get all of them, and they just pick whatever the fuck they want. So we can't really get a sense of what kind of spells we're looking at. But if you're going any higher than 19 on Wisdom, you kind of want to go for like an offensive build for your spells. Because that's the only, outside of just a couple of extra casts per day, that's the only benefit that going above 19 gets you for a spellcaster. So because of this stat spread, it looks as if they kind of want to go for a melee character build, because, you know, the dex, or the high strength, high-ish strength, the high constitution, the dex. Oh, that's actually something. It is +2 to con and wisdom. I thought so. Is it -2 dex? Okay, it's mine. So they boosted their dex up to 14. So they put a lot of investment into dex to get that 12. That's interesting. Okay. We'll continue onwards. Extend spell, that's fine, actually. That's actually pretty nice. You can boost up, especially now that we have level 3 spells, you can boost up a lot of those. I mean, it's not going to get you into enduring spells range anytime soon, but animal community at 1, yeah. Yeah. Love me that animal domain. But this is the first, well, I mean, like, we got selective channel here, which is kind of a given for a cleric, right? I don't know any cleric build that avoids this entirely. Heavy armor proficiency. This is like the first, I keep wanting to say defensive. I mean, I guess you could say that selective channel is defensive, because you're not healing your enemies. I don't know. But this is like the first kind of indicator as to what kind of build we're looking at, is this meta magic. I mean, I guess it does mention, it does say support in the character select, so I guess that was the first indication. But so it looks like we're looking at extending our buff spells with extend here, which means that all of those level 2 buff spells, bears endurance and all them, bull strength, those can all get doubled in length now because we do have access to level 3. But we also want to make sure that we keep, you know, you want to keep that delay poison open, right? So you want to have at least one spell slot for delay poison communal, obviously. Isn't Animate Dead usually a... Yeah, Animate Dead's usually a level 4. I did not realize that clerics got it at 3. Interesting. Huh. I learned something new today. I really hope that we're not a blaster well, I mean, if we're not using ray spells, that'd be fine. I really hope that we're not like a ray spell blaster caster, because that would be unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, okay, so actually this is something that I have not been looking at. So we get 1.5 ranks per level. The 1 goes in persuasion, the half goes in religion. I think that's fine. I definitely think that we did not need to drop our intelligence down. If we had kept our intelligence at 10 and dropped our dex to 10, I think this build would have been fine. Yeah. Yeah, I hate dropping intelligence because skill ranks are so important. Um, until you get a Ruchelet, and then she just kind of takes over all of the skills, right? So, oh yeah, this is when we get the empowered. And you get fire resistance. Nice. And our first mythic. So what do we get? Close to heavens. Yeah, we're going angels, so this makes sense. First mythic ability, inspirational leader. I don't know if I would take this as my first. I do usually take the. Yeah, it is going angel. This build does go angel. Since this is a support character, enduring spells would obviously be very useful. Although enduring spells at this low of a level isn't going to be that great. Because only 10 minutes per level spells are going to be long enough for enduring spells to actually take advantage of. Its auto always breaks its spell select. It doesn't always break its spell select. It's only every once in a while it does. And if we figure that out, then we can if we run into that, then we can deal with that as we go. Abundant casting is obviously a choice that we could take. Domain Zealot. Actually, no, I don't think Domain Zealot's worthwhile. Obviously, Impossible Domain. Get you that community, get you that animal domains. Favorite meta magic. Also very useful. There's a lot of options here that I would take over Inspirational Leader. I definitely don't think that I would be taking this first. I do really like getting Inspirational Leader on at least, well, not on at least one character, on one character in the party. I don't really ever put it on the main character because a lot of times you need a lot of mythic things on your main character. Arguably, buff casters need a lot, especially if you do want to do a bit of ranged damage as well. Like I said, you want abundant casting, improved abundant casting, greater abundant casting. You want empowered or enduring spells and greater enduring spells. Favorite meta magic, impossible domain. That's 7. That's 7 mythic abilities that you want. Impossible domain you might be able to pull away, but that's still 6. That's more than you get without taking extra mythic ability and sacrificing one of your mythic feats. And that's before you take into account, do you get Ascendant Element for the fire spells that you're getting? That brings you back up to 7 or potentially 8. Like there's a lot of choices here, and I don't think that Inspirational Leader is the best one. I definitely would have taken this on another character. I think the main one that I usually get for this is a Ruchelet, I believe is the one that I usually pick, because she doesn't really need that many mythic abilities. Like, obviously, I'll get the 3 main ones, or even the 2 main ones. Cleaving Shot, Ranging Shot, and the bigger they are. Those are like the 3 main ranged ones. There's also like Exposed Vulnerability, but you don't really get that many opportunities to use it. I mean, hell, in my most recent playthrough, I bumped it up to Unfair. Before I fought Baphomet, and I 3-shot him. Because my party was just too goddamn overpowered. So exposed vulnerability just isn't really that big of a deal. So yeah, I would take inspirational leader on somebody like a Rochelet or something like that, not on your main character, especially not on a support main character. But anyway, mandatory toughness feat. Yeah. Well, we're already. I mean, okay. Extra channel. We are going to be kind of starved for channel positive or for channel energies because we only have 12 charisma. So extra channel, I'm not hugely against. Especially early, honestly. Like I actually prefer getting this early rather than late, because once you get into the later things, you're gonna have other options for AoE heals. You start getting the cure masses. You start, you know, especially when you get like super later, you'll have mass heal and you'll never use channel positive energy again. But we still don't have a single offensive feat. We basically have no way to actually dish out any damage if we would want to, which, you know, isn't the main purpose of this build, but basically right now we're a buff and heal bot, and we don't really do anything else in combat, which kind of hurts when we are a melee character. Because we're a melee character, which is on the front line, which means we are in danger of dying, which prevents us from healing. Yeah, it's a bit, I don't know. Okay, so there's mythic channeling. I'm not a huge fan of this on this particular build simply because of how low our charisma actually is. This literally only gives us a +2. Or I mean, I guess it gives us a +4 to all of our heals, as opposed to somebody like Darren. If Darren gets mythic channeling, it boosts up his channel positive energy by like 18 to 20 per cast. Like it's a ridiculous amount. But for somebody who only has a 12 or a 14 charisma, I would not take mythic channeling. I mean, I don't know. Like you do get a lot, not a lot. You do get a fair number of charisma headbands, so you can bump it up. But let's say you bump it up to 18. That's a +4. It boosts it to a +8. That's still 10 less than than Darren, even without any headbands, right? Because Darren, I think, starts at either a 16 or an 18 charisma. Which is what you max out at with this character, is 18 charisma. That's what he starts with. And he's a caster that relies heavily on his charisma, so that's what you're going to want to be pumping all of your points into. So Darren's charisma ends up being an insane number. Like if he starts at 18, you get him up to 22 at level 16. That's 28, which is a +9. Or 30 if you get the book and you give him the charisma book, which I feel like a lot of people do. We could use this, get an extra mythic ability to start down that chain that we need to go down. There's not really any super important mythic feats for this character, basically at all. We really just don't give a fuck about mythic feats. Which is actually something that I kind of find interesting. the mythic feats tend to favor melee characters. There's a lot of really good melee melee mythic feats, or I should say physical mythic feats, but most casters rely far more heavily on the mythic abilities. Because you got the abundant castings, the during spells, ascendant element, all that stuff. Um, which I always thought was interesting, and I like the way that worked. But yeah, mythic channeling is the choice here. I would have taken an extra mythic ability. I don't give a damn about any of these mythic feats. Maybe take an extra feat to get something, but I definitely would prefer an extra mythic ability. Start going down the abundant casting route, start going down the enduring spells route. Either of those I think would be fine. I probably personally would go down the abundant casting one. But let's continue. As is usual, it is a odd numbered level, so we get literally nothing, so that's fun. Heavy armor focus. Okay. Boosts up our AC by 1. Does not help our touch AC. So it kind of makes me think that we're not going, like, this build isn't designed to be like a sword and board type of build where we're using a shield, which kind of surprises me. I kind of expected us to use a shield. Oh yeah, Evil Boy is best healer. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to go social in my very first playthrough because Darren rubbed me the wrong way when I met him. I just really didn't like the character. But eventually the power gamer in me forced me to realize, oh yeah, Darren's just objectively better at what he does than Social is. He is far more specialized, which helps out a lot. Yeah, heavy armor focus. I guess I think I would have preferred dodge here. Oh wait, we don't have enough dex for dodge. Need 13 dex to pick up dodge. Never mind. I don't know, like there's not really a whole lot of, like, this is the thing about not knowing. You can also you can get a pet with social as well. Impossible Domain works with both. Um what would I have taken? We could go weapon focus and choose a weapon to focus on. We could get shield focus. So the thing about shield focus, the important thing about shield focus is shield focus unlocks mythic shield focus, which adds that to our touch AC as well, which is really, really important because as a low dex, heavy armor wearing character, you want to take what you can to boost up your touch AC. Because you're just going to get wrecked with touch attacks. So yeah, I think I would have preferred shield focus here. Simply for that. And here's our first angel, and we do get enduring spells. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. We do get enduring spells. We do pick our mythic spellbook of Cleric. And then suddenly we are a much higher level spellcaster. Yeah, so here's level 6 spells. Yeah, so we get all the way up to level 6. meaning we now have access to heal. We now have access to Hellfire Ray. All of the mass spells. You're saying Communal is also very nice. Eagle Soul would be great if... I mean, actually, no. Eagle Soul is just a really good spell. So this could potentially help out with our somewhat lacking physical stats. +4 Sacred bonus to Strength. +2 Sacred bonus to AC. That will help a lot. Wait, where's... What is this? What is this? What is this thing that you are talking about? Bolt Justice. I don't see it. Am I just missing it? Probably. Bottom. Oh, here we go. Deals 1d6 points of holy damage per caster level. Target needs to make a successful reflex saving throw or become prone. Target's Evo spell and deal. Instead deals 1d8 points per caster level. Become prone, suffer a -2 penalty to AC attack rolls and save. You'll outsider, so demon. 1d10, reflex saving throw, become prone in month. Okay. No spell resist, yeah. I did see that. The problem is the low DC. That's the main problem with that spell, from what I can see. The low DC, which just comes from us not taking anything. What spell is it? Conjuration? Like, the fact that we haven't focused on any spells or anything like that kind of hurts this, because we could boost this up at least into 22, and then that's before we put on any, like, headbands or anything like that. So we could get this up a fair bit, but as of right now, at a DC of 20, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsher on it. Damage is full. DC is just for the added. Oh, is it really? Oh, it is. I just kind of added in the half damage thing because that's so common. Okay, that's actually a fair bit better than I thought. Okay, cool. All right, and then level 10 is boring because we don't get anything except for more spells, which... Level 7 spells tend to be fairly boring for clerics. 1d6 hit points per 2 caster level. So basically this does your channel positive energy healing per round for multiple rounds. But it is for everybody. So unless you get selective spell, this will also heal your enemies. Target attacks deal additional 1d6 holy damage per 4 caster levels. Interesting. Because we already have enduring spells. I'm assuming we're going to be getting to a point where Sunmarked can become a 24-hour spell. I can only... Angel spells are so busted. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm looking at it, because I've never looked at them really before. Ability to deal 2d6 additional holy damage with their next attack if a good or neutral creature charges through the wall. Charges, specifically. All allies. Immunity to fatigue, exhaustion, nauseated, sickened, diseases, poisons, ability damage, and ability drain for 10 minutes. Which you then get greater during spells, and suddenly this is a 24-hour spell. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, these are kind of busted. I think it would be mainly these two that I would pick. This one, and then I would boost this one up for, yeah, like, I never actually looked at the angel spells. I've never actually got... Well, I've gone down this path once, and it was on accident during a speed run. And since it was on a speed run, I didn't really want to, take too much time to look at what I was getting. Oh, we get shield focus now. Okay. So this is supposed to be a sword and board character. Okay. Yeah, this right here is why shield focus is so important. Getting your shield bonus to... Don't take missile shield. Missile shield is shit. Please don't take that. Mythic rank 4. What do we get? Sorceress reflex. Alright. This is good if you're playing on turn-based. As soon as you switch over to real time, this drops in usefulness dramatically. I really do not like swift action spells in real time because it just forces a lot of extra micromanagement. Instead of just allowing you to like it just adds another thing that you need to do each fight, right? Because it is only the first. Yeah. Abolish Guile. What does this do? Creature wielding them becomes immune to compulsion effects. Healing spells cast by the creature now remove all mind-affecting effects from the target. This specifies healing spells, so I'm assuming Channel Positive Energy does not do that. However, if you combo this with the healing thing that stays for multiple rounds, this is just a flat out just undo mind affecting effects every round, just automatically. Creatures that commonly use compulsion suffer an additional 50% of damage from the wielder as holy damage. What? Wait. How is this determined? Creatures that commonly use compulsion. Because, like, if you think about it, like incubi, succubi, like the incubus and succubus characters would obviously go under this. But like, would bards, if you fight a bard, would that? Like, what does it mean by creatures that commonly use compulsion effects? What's up, Sheldon? You guys come and say hi to everybody? Come on. What are you doing? Nope, there you are. Come on. What are you doing? You are such a weirdo. Come on. Whatever. She'll do it whenever she gets around. There we go. We have a kitten. Hey, Lord Bovin, what's up? Lich is better anyway. Lich is better for some classes. I'm actually liking Angel a fair bit at this point. But let's take a look at what these other abolishes do. Considering that Matt here thinks that Guile is the worst. I don't know, I think Poison might be the worst. Become immune to diseases. Healing spells cast by that creature now remove all diseases from the target. Also remove fatigued, exhausted, sickened, and nauseated. Supply diseases on attacks are otherwise closely linked to diseases. Yeah, the problem that I have with these is how imprecise the language is for that last for this last sentence, right? Creatures that commonly use compulsion. Creatures that apply diseases on attacks or are otherwise closely linked to diseases. Like, I can only assume that, like, swarms and rats and spooters and all that stuff I would assume that those would be what this is talking about, or at least some of the people that this is talking about. Dretches as well, right? What about poison? Healing spells cast by a creature now remove all poisons from the target. Problem is that poisons can be undone by a level 3 spell, so I disagree, Matt. I think that this is probably the best one. Works on spellcasters? Maybe. Becomes immune to death effects and energy drain. We already have something that allows us to become immune to energy drain. So I think that this is kind of terrible. Now remove paralysis and all negative levels from the target. The energy drain immunity is AoE, so I think this one. Okay, so far I've not been a fan of any of them except for Guile. So the divine. All right, here we go. Angel can now imbue weapons of others with the same holy power. Angel can still imbue weapons of only one creature. Grant the benefits of your Sword of Heaven ability to all allies in a 50-foot radius. Alright, what? Okay, what does this do? Imbue their weapons with holy power. Weapons imbued. Deal an additional 2d6 holy damage on attacks while spells and abilities used while holding an imbued weapon. Deal an additional 2 dice of damage or heal an additional 2 dice of damage. Ooh. Ooh. If you have if you have a sorcerer, a dragon-blooded sorcerer, and then you take, so if you are the cross-blooded sorcerer and you take like gold and red dragon, and then I think it's bronze that also adds fire. You can get up to a +3 to every damage die for your fire spells. If you have gold dragon, red dragon, and what would I say, bronze? I think it's bronze. It's either bronze or I think brass is poison or acid, and bronze is fire. Regardless, you can get up to a +3 to every damage die for all of your fire spells. So if you do this, that's an extra 2d6 plus 6 damage. It's actually kind of fun. It's actually kind of fun to think about. Okay, so this just allows you, this gives you infusion, but for that ability specifically. Bye, kitten. Sword of Heaven now lasts for 1 minute per mythic rank instead of what? Um, Wait. For how long? It doesn't say how long it is. It just says that you can use it a number of times per day equal to 1 plus half your mythic rank. Wait. This seems... So if I'm reading this correctly, you put it on... It's 1 minute base? Okay. Yeah, because it just doesn't say. It just does not specify at all. Which is kind of shit, not gonna lie. But 1 minute per mythic rank is pretty nice. Like, at this point, it would multiply that duration by 4. So that's cool. Grand Blessing, additional damage and healing from Sword of Heaven are now maximized. Okay. So that would be, what, 2d6? Or 2 damage of okay. 2 damage. 2 dice of damage. Okay. Attacks with imbued weapon now mark the target for 1 minute, making the target visible, giving the target a -4 penalty to stealth checks and a -4 penalty to AC. The -40 to stealth is kind of trash, because the vast majority of enemies do not use stealth in combat, so why is this even a thing? Is there even a single enemy that uses stealth in combat? Is that even a thing? I can't even think of a single thing that does that. No, I don't think there is. I do not think that there is. So yeah, this is kind of like the -4 to AC is good. Like I like the -4 to AC, but the -40 to stealth is just weird. Not a fan of it. Um, some use invisibility, but they break the invisibility as soon as they attack, so they lose that the instant that they actually initiate combat. So this would only work in basically the first round of combat. And usually would only really work if you're attacking an invisible enemy with a ranged weapon, kind of. Because otherwise you'd be running up to them, they would attack you, immediately break invisibility, and like, I mean, you might be able to get one attack off, but also at this point, we have just True Seeing Communal. We could also just cast that spell, and then we just invalidate invisibility regardless. So yeah, I think the -40 to stealth checks is kind of useless for us. The -4 to AC, like I said, is very good. Anything that drops AC or increases your chances to hit, very, very nice. But the stealth check thing, I think, is more of a flavor thing than actually like mechanics worthy. What would I actually choose? Because like I don't like any of these. I think that all of these abolishes are pretty bad. Invis and spam sub. Oh, that's true. That's true. There is the summoners. But again, we do have True Seeing Communal, so we could just cast that, and then everybody sees them, and it's not a problem. Um, so the thing is that this has not been a build that focuses at all on attacking itself. So I don't think that we want to use the Sword of Heaven on our characters. So I think Bestow the Divine. I think probably Bestow the Divine and then Grand Blessing or Everlasting Flame after that. Because honestly, what I would do, I would probably give this to a Ruchelet. And then just have her fucking turret everybody down as she just snipes everybody to death. Yeah, this particular build just does not benefit. This build does not benefit from getting this for ourselves. I think of all the abolishes, I think this is probably the best of the 4 abolish abilities. But yeah, I definitely think that Bestow and then Everlasting is probably the way to go. Yeah. All right, Wisdom is now up to 20. Nothing else changes. We get extra fire resistance. Hooray. Okay, we now have Reach. So we now have Extend and Reach. I don't think that... Why? We don't have the mythic ability to give us... Oh, that's yet another mythic ability that I forgot about. As a healer, you want the one that lets you heal at range. But there's also the crossbow that lets you heal at range. AoE version of Bolt. That is pretty good. I don't think that this is useful. I don't see... So I've never taken the reach meta magic anyway. I don't think that it's necessary the vast majority of the time. Like, as a healer, a lot of the time you're going to have the mythic... Either the mythic ability that allows you to heal at range, or you can pick up the crossbow that does the same thing. The crossbow does only come, I think, in Act 4, so it is a little bit late in the game, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm not a fan of reach in general. Especially for like a mainly buffing melee character. You're not going to be wanting to cast spells too much in combat because you're going to be provoking attacks of opportunity because you're going to be in melee combat. And if you're buffing people outside of combat, you can just walk up to them. And hell, a lot of people just play with the bubble buffs anyway. So, yeah, I don't like reach. Reach spell is this is kind of a wasted feat. I see absolutely no reason to get this whatsoever. There's so many different feats that you could take at this point. Like I said, you can take spell focus or weapon focus, start focusing on actually doing something like spell focus conjuration to help boost up your angel offensive spells if you want to do that. Weapon focus to try and actually be able to do damage, because as of right now your attack bonus is very, very low. There might be an angel spell that I haven't seen yet that actually boosts your chance to hit by a lot, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say. Another way to help improve your chance to hit, use a high crit range weapon and get improved critical. Because if you're using a scimitar, as a cleric, and you or rapier, and you get improved critical, that's a 30% chance that you're guaranteed to hit, regardless of any other factors. You have a 15 to 20 crit range. That is a 30% chance on any given attack that you hit, regardless of anything else. So improved critical is actually a really good way to help boost your chance to hit for low hit chance characters, as long as you're using high crit range weapons, which is one of the reasons that I love those weapons so much. Why I recommend them on basically every build. Next number of rounds equal to your caster level, you become incorporeal and gain the ability to shoot rays of holy fire. It's a swift action, dealing 1d6 damage per caster level. Huh. Half of which is fire and half is holy. Wrath of the Righteous, title drop. All demons in a 40-foot radius around the caster make a will save. If it's failed, the demon is dealt 10 damage per caster level. Saving throw is successful. Demon 1d6 damage per caster. Interesting. Yeah. You were just talking about mass heal. We get it right here. That has died within one round. I'm not a huge fan of these. I'm not a huge fan of these spells, simply because a lot of times the game bugs out and just doesn't allow them to be revived anyway. At least that's been my experience. Every time I've ever tried to use... I can't remember the fucking spell. What's the spell? Breath of Life. Anytime I've ever tried to use Breath of Life, it's never fucking worked. I've never been able to save somebody with this spell. So I'm not a huge fan of these. And that one's got a 2-turn duration. This one's only got 1 round. So within 6 seconds, you have to recognize that somebody has fallen, get over to them, which is a melee character, so you're going to be provoking attacks of opportunity when doing this, and get the cast off within that first round. Now, that is a lot easier on turn-based. If you're in real time, it's very easy for you to, at least for me, to not notice that somebody's gone down right away. And if you don't see it immediately, you're just not going to get there. So I'm not a huge fan of these. Affects all allies, a 20-foot radius, and lasts for 1 hour. So this is basically a 20. This is a guaranteed 24. Well, actually, we don't have greater enduring spells yet. We do not have greater enduring spells yet. All demons under 40. Oh yeah, we already saw this. All right, boring. Nothing changes. Mythic rank 5. All right, what do we get? Domain Zealot. Use the abilities of your domains as a swift action. I would much rather have seen greater enduring spells here. Like, easily. I would have rather seen greater enduring spells here. We have a lot of mythic abilities that we still want to get, right? We still want abundant casting, improved abundant casting, greater abundant casting, greater enduring spells. Honestly, favorite meta magic. Like, if you're on harder difficulties, if you're on harder difficulties, you're not going to be using an auto build. But like Rupture Restraints is another one that I like to get a lot. So that's 6 more. That's 6. That's if we use every single one from here on out, we can get the 6 that I would really want. And that's not even considering Impossible Domain. We are getting past the point where we can't really get all of the mythic abilities that we want to get. In fact, we're kind of already there. We're kind of already past the point where we can't get all of the mythic abilities that you really want as a caster. And especially as a buff caster. Alright, what do we get here? Whenever an ally suffers damage, they receive fast healing equal Angel's Mythic rank for 1 round. This is trash. This is really bad. We're Mythic rank 5. This means that we have just entered the Abyss, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get Mythic rank 5 the instant you enter the Abyss. So you're going to be getting fast healing 5 for 1 round, meaning you auto heal 5 damage every round you get hit. If you're getting hit, you're probably taking a hell of a lot more than 5 damage. So this is kind of trash. By kind of, I mean this is really trash. All demons and undead creatures in the 50-foot area suffer 2d6 plus mythic rank points of holy damage each round. This is just constant damage. This already is better than Flame of Life. Like, Burning Bright is just really, really good. Fort Save, we just immediately ignore that. All enemies with a 1 plus half the Angel's Mythic rank, as well as penalty to saving throws equal to half of that. Okay. So that would be a -3 on spell resistance. And I'm assuming it rounds down, so a -1 or a -2 on saving throws. I still think Burning Bright is the best one that I've seen so far. But Piercing Rays isn't bad, and it definitely gets better as you go on. Um, bonus to fire, cold, acid, and electricity resistance is equal to 5 per angel's mythic rank. Bonus to sonic and negative energy resistance equal to 3 per mythic rank. Bonus to force, unholy, holy, and divine equal to the angel's mythic rank. So this one, okay, what the angelic halo, what does this actually do, and how long does this last? Is this just permanent? It seems like this is just permanent. So this is like actually really strong. Like this invalidates all of like the protection from energy buffs. Because even now we're going to be getting 25 resistance to fire, cold, acid, and electricity. And a 15 resistance to sonic and negative energy. Force, unholy, holy, and divine. I don't really think that we actually run into that. Like ever. If we do, it's so rare that I'm not even like it's not even something that I'm gonna consider. It doesn't suffer any damage from the ally spells. Main target of such a spell, it becomes empowered as though using the empowered spell feat. DC of the saving throws against it is increased by 2. So this basically makes you failing beacon. Okay, yeah, that actually makes a lot. Okay, interesting. I kind of like this one. This one's really interesting. So this makes spells that I kind of really like this one. I don't know if it's better than Burning Bright. I think the majority of fights, Burning Bright is going to do just a bit more. Actually, I don't know. This does also give the Empowered spell feat basically for free. Unfailing Beacon seems just incredibly overpowered. It just seems way too good. So, like, if you target the angel with, like, something like Chain Lightning, does that also count? I definitely think that Unfailing is probably the strongest one here. Solar Winds is also really interesting, and like while you can get something similar, eventually Solar Wind, you don't think Chain works? Even if it's something like Sunburst or hell, Fireball. An empowered Fireball coming off of a Dragon-Blooded Sorcerer, that's a lot of damage. Or like a Cone of Cold or anything like that. That's a lot of damage. Mass Icy Prison, anyone? Mass Icy Prison on an Angel, empowered, so it's doing 1.5 times damage. The save DC is increased by 2. Unfailing Beacon has too many uses. Think other Halos are better? I think Solar Winds definitely eclipses the protection from energy spells eventually. Like right now, it's like right at the peak for those other spells. But I think they still win out because of the combined spell book. I think your spell, your caster level is going to be high enough to get the maximum from them, so you'll have a 30 resistance for all of those, or for any of those. But I think that Solar Winds definitely wins out eventually. Piercing Rays. So I think honestly what I would pick is I would pick Unfailing, Solar Winds, and Piercing Rays. Like in that order. Unfailing Beacon at 5, Solar Winds at 7, and Piercing Rays at 9. Because once you get to level 9 and 10, Piercing Rays is 1 plus half your mythic rank to overcome spell resistance. So at level 9, that'd be a plus 5, and at 10, it becomes a plus 6. And then you're also dropping their saving throws by a 2 or 3 at the same time. So if you combo that with Unfailing Beacon, that is a swing of 4 on the save throw, the saving throw roll, right? Because we're increasing the DC by 4, we're dropping their spell, their saving throws by 3. So actually, it's a swing of 5. So yeah, these 3 I think are definitely the best. Blinding Light requires a fort save, which I'm not a fan of. I kind of just immediately ignored it as soon as I saw that fort save. Yeah, DC equals 10 plus half your character level, so that'd be a maximum plus 10 from that. Plus your mythic rank is 10, plus your highest ability modifier, let's say 8. So that'd be I mean, that is a saving throw of 38. But if they save, they're only dazzled for a minute. Dazzled is only a -1 on a bunch of, on like attack rolls. It's kind of yeah. Burning Bright, like my immediate thought was, oh man, it's extra damage. This Unfailing Beacon is gonna out damage that, like immediately. Flame of Life is just trash. I'm sorry. It's just really bad. Fast healing for 1 round might as well just not exist. Because right now, like I said, this is 5 healing once per round. Once per round, this is 5. If you're getting attacked, like I said, we're going into the Abyss. Let's say you're getting attacked by a Marilith. That's 6 attacks in 1 round. If each of those attacks only ever did 1 damage, it would still be out damaging this healing. And we all know that Mariliths do more than 1 damage per hit. So I think Flame of Life is probably the worst out of all of these. Followed by Blinding Light, then Burning Bright. And then these 3 down here are all very, very good. Yeah, that's kind of why I turn against burning. The more I thought about it, like I said, my initial reaction was this is really, really good, and then I started thinking about it more, and I'm like, it's a 2d6 plus 10 at most, and you know, like that was one of the complaints about this game when it first came out, is you only get to rank 10 like 2 fights before the final boss. So you don't even really get this great, you don't even get this final bonus until the very, very end of the game. So yeah, like I said, Unfailing Beacon, then Solar Winds, then Piercing Rays. That's what I would have taken here. Oh, hey, we were wondering when this was going to show up. Oh, Shelby's back to take up all the cuddles again. As is usual these days. I am fine with it. So yeah, we were wondering when this is going to come in, and here it is. Toughness. Again, I definitely think that they're... Like, the thing is, what are we going to take at this point as a feat? Spell focus, weapon focus, proof critical, extra channel, fuck it. Greater shield, where's that? Wait. Where's the improved shield focus, greater shield focus? Wait a second. Why is this something that we can't get? Oh, it's a fighter feat. Oh yeah, improved initiative. I haven't been talking about improved initiative as much lately, but I recommend it on almost every single character ever. Because if you can have your whole party go before the enemies do, you can usually take out a good chunk of those enemies before they ever get a chance to do a damn thing. So I almost always recommend improved initiative. All right, what do we get here? Why? All right, we are, well, level 14. So we just got 28 extra health. And we gain DR10/epic whenever we're already dead. Reminder, this is our healer. This is our healer. So once we go down, we don't really have a way to get back up again. Unless we get past the fight. Also, whenever you're below 0 hit points, you fall unconscious. You know what happens when you fall unconscious? The enemies start attacking other people. So this DR10 doesn't really help unless basically everybody's already dead. I kidding. You know what does help? Shield focus myth. You know what does help? Mythic abilities that allow you to cast more spells. Or cast your spells better. Or basically do anything. Toughest mythic is shit. It's terrible. It's really fucking bad. I hate it. Grand Blessing. Okay with this. I would prefer Bestow and Everlasting, as we talked about when I was over here last, but I'm okay with Grand Blessing. It's not the worst thing. Not the worst thing in the world. Wisdom, nothing else. Yeah. The average odd level or even level. Hey! Rank 7. When do we get rank 7? We get rank 7 as we're leaving the Abyss. So as we are leaving the Abyss, we finally get greater enduring spells. And we get Burning Bright. So remember how I said that... Remember how I said that these top 3 were the worst 3? If we just get these top 3, I'm going to be so mad. I would not be surprised. Like, I don't actually expect them to pick Unfailing Beacon because it requires a specific party makeup to actually be good. Just in time for all the overworld traveling in Act 5. Look, listen, it's fine. It's fine. Um, to be fair, it's also like the thing is greater enduring spells on an angel is actually incredibly good because this means that if you build this character correctly, you can get your rounds per level spells. Come on down, kid. You can get your rounds per level spells up to 24 hours. We already have extend spell, which is the first part of that. I think you need to be caster level 25. So if we can get to level 18, basically, both kitties in one stream, yeah. We got them both. We had Shelby earlier. Now we got John. I will be orange by the time John leaves because he is a shitty cat. Yeah, Burning Bright, I kind of hate. I don't expect Unfailing Beacon. I kind of expect Solar Winds. Solar Winds is my prediction for level 9 here. That or Blinding Light because they just really want to take all the worst ones. Fucking why? I mean, our reflex is really shit. Eventually, yes. Like I said, you need to get your rounds per level spells to be caster level 25 with extend spell, and then you will be able to get them up to 24 hours. So there's a bit of work that still needs to be done because we're level 17 and we're rank 7, so basically we need to be 18 and rank 7 before we can get those there. But yeah, we're basically right there. We're basically at the point where our rounds per level spells can be 24 hours. Which is an insanely strong... Like, I tried so hard to get rounds per level spells to be 24 hours for the speed run. Because I wanted to get haste to be 24 hours. And here we go. What do we get? We're not going to get shield focused mythic, are we? That's like the one... So shield focused mythic is like the one mythic feat that I really wanted this character to get based on the build that we've had so far. And we're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. Instead, we get Destiny Beyond Birth. Here's a +2 to your fucking dex. What are you doing? What's this cat doing? Hey, being a weirdo. Stop it. Stop being a weirdo. Whatever. Alright, he's really interested in how my microphone smells. Swapped it and went Swarm. That would actually have been really fun. I'm gonna turn my fan off. It's a little bit... Actually, a little bit chilly in here. I'm so happy about it. I would much rather be a little bit chilly than be sitting here and dripping sweat because it's 96 degrees in this room. Yeah, I kind of hate this. I kind of hate this because what does this do? What does a +2 to dex actually get us? It gets us a +1 to our reflex save, and that's about it. That's basically all we get from it. We're going to be wearing heavy armor, meaning we're going to be wearing full plate, which is a max 1 to our dex. So we're not going to get any boost to our AC. We get a +1 to any ray spells that we cast, but we're probably not going to be casting many ray spells. Like, what does this actually give us? This doesn't give us anything. Should have taken either Shield Focus Mythic. We have none of the abundant castings. We're just not going to get them. We're just not going to get an abundant casting on a spellcaster. All right, so here we go. We got some extra ones. Oh. Oh shit. Well, I know why. I know why you don't take Bestow the Divine, because this is OP as fuck. Yeah, right, buddy. Especially once you get Everlasting Flame. Tax of the owner of the imbued weapon now additionally deal. Oh my god. Imagine Bestow the Divine, Everlasting Flame, Heavenly Host, and Overwhelming. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why we didn't take Bestow. Is because they didn't want us to take Heavenly Host here. So yeah, Bestow the Divine, Grand Blessing, Heavenly Host, Overwhelming Flames. You just burn the entirety of everything immediately. You're in a very awkward position for me right now. All right. I'm okay with Overwhelming Flames. Giving an deal weapon damage to all enemies within 5 feet. I'm assuming that's the entirety of the weapon damage, not just like the basic damage. Also get wings. Also fucking Destiny Beyond Birth. Get me out of there. I'm upset by this. Don't like it. Emergency help? I would like to remind the class that we have mass heal at this point. Hey, my prediction was correct. I called that we were going to take Solar Winds at level 9, and here we are. This I'm actually pretty okay with. The Solar Winds bit I'm actually pretty okay with. Emergency help can fuck off and die. God, imagine getting... Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad. 18, we get nothing. 19, we get Quicken? But why, though? All allies in the 30-foot radius gain the combined effect of Avenger's Blessing, Mind Blink, and Holy Sword spells for 1 hour. You mean for 24 hours. Target would be brought below 0 hit points, is instead healed to maximum, deals 1d6 fire damage per caster level to all enemies in a 20-foot. Okay. Every ally in a 30-foot radius around the caster. Jesus. 30-foot radius is dealt 12 damage per caster level. Half of this damage is fire. Half is holy. Successful reflex reduces the amount of damage to 1d12 per caster. These is some good spells. I like them. Please, for the love of God, don't be stupid. Oh my god, we got Shield Focus Mythic. Alright, at least we got... Okay. Whew. At least we got this. At least we got Shield Focus Mythic. And I'm scared. Okay. 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 It's the tank healer, but yeah, I guess. Uh... So, actually, in combat, this character doesn't really do that much, huh? They just stand there and accept hits and use channel positive energy. So yeah, that finally allows us to buff up one of the other characters that can actually do damage. So that's cool. And then, yeah, it's level 20 on a cleric, so we don't get anything. Hooray, you get fire immunity! Woo! We already have fucking 50 fire resistance, but yeah, fire immunity. The busted angel spells for damage, I guess. But they never took spell focus or spell penetration or any of that stuff. I don't know if most of those spells require spell penetration, but I know that they require spell focus to avoid the saving throws. And we just didn't get any of those. So yeah, that's Sordara. There's definitely some problems. Basically every single, these three specifically, these three mythic feats can fuck off. I hate them. Emergency help can fuck off. I hate it. Like abundant casting, improved abundant casting, greater abundant casting, and then like, I don't know. Oh, actually I do know. Impossible domain. Oh yeah, domain zealot can fuck off too. Also, it's like inspirationally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of our 10 choices for mythic feats and mythic abilities, I hate. I hate it. I hate them all. None of these are good. None of those are good. Yeah. I think so between the Lich Sorcerer or the Angel's Cleric, I would prefer the Lich as well. Mainly because I don't really like having my main character be a support character. I much prefer either like a heavy damage dealing melee or a blaster caster. I don't really like bow or cross like a ranger or something like that, or like a cleric. For my main character, I tend to lean towards other playstyles. Especially since as like a buffer and healer, Darren is already really fucking good. So yeah, I think I would, if I were to choose between these two, I would definitely choose the Lich before this one. But that is more than half of the stream gone, and we still have 2 more classes to get through. So we're gonna leave, and we're gonna go, and we're gonna pick up the cleric now. All right, inevitable excess. Doesn't matter. Hey, Zins, what's up? Cleric. Use recommended build. All right, what do we got? Asmar, full Asmar, so boost of wisdom and charisma. That's fine. Oblate, Acolyte, so we got the Acolyte again. Still the roof as always. Fair enough, fair enough. Is Acolyte necessary for this? Also, they dropped intelligence down again, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. And these are going to go a lot faster because we don't have the mythic abilities to talk about. And honestly, Cleric, the actual feats in Cleric, they're like, there's not that many choices. Like, after level 1, there's not much to talk about with the cleric, so I expect this one to go fairly quickly. But we do have some fucking weirdness happening here. Base 10 strength, we drop intelligence for some reason. Instead of strength. 12 dex, 12 con, 19 wisdom, 18 charisma. I'm gonna let you all sit here and stew on that while I go get a water, because I just killed off the last drink that I had here. I'll be back in just a sec. Alright, I'm back. Yeah. Like Matt said, clerics use charisma for channeling positive energy. Um, it affects how many casts they get per day, and if they get mythic channeling, it also increases how much they heal or how much damage they deal. I don't think that we need an 18. I know for a fact that we don't need 10 strength. With this particular build, what I would definitely do is I would definitely drop strength down to 7, get intelligence back up to 10, and then like put an extra point into something else. I don't know. Maybe drop charisma down to 16, because I don't think 18 is really necessary. Maybe put a bit of extra into dex. Because what this character is probably going to be doing a lot of the time, in combat at least, this character is probably just going to spend a lot of combat just sitting there shooting a crossbow. They're not going to really be doing that much outside of that. So I think getting their dex up a bit more so that they at least have a chance to hit with the damn thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Zins. Charisma down to 16. I don't think 18 is quite necessary, and it's a big investment to get charisma to 18. I do want, like, int, I really hate dropping int at all. I mentioned this at the beginning, but, like, as we can see right here, we only get 1.5 ranks per level right now because of how low our int is, and because clerics only start with 2 ranks per level, as is. So what I would do is I would drop strength to 8 or 7, bring int back up to 10, drop charisma to 16, put everything else into dex, I think is what I would do. Anyway, moving on from that, we do get selective channels, so that's good. This seems to be, we get water and healing. Okay, so both of these have gone healing domain, which is interesting. Unless you have the background for perception, it's so easy to fill all the roles with the other characters anyways. The problem is that if we are a healer, you're not going to want Darren in the party. So, Jesus fucking Christ, cat. You are not coordinated enough to do jumps like that, sir. So we lose Darren and Social, which are 2 of our higher charisma characters. You could use Ember as the charisma person. For persuasion. Because, like, basically what I'm saying is we're losing our major persuasion person until we get a Ruchelet, basically. You little shit. So we would want lore, religion, and persuasion probably on this character. I'm really curious what they're going to choose as their second one. It's good. It has to be either persuasion or perception. I'll be hugely surprised if it's anything but those. But yeah, we get selective channel, Pharasma, channel positive energy, that's fine. Water domain and healing domain. What do we have even access to? Death, knowledge, and repose. There's not really any good ones here. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the downfall of picking Pharasma. Just doesn't have that many great domains. So you're kind of stuck with water and healing. Yeah.
Follow if you
dare. But yeah, that's basically all we got for level 1, and let's get going. Let's continue on.
The architect of the world wound
Well, so Zin's, the thing is that you're not going to have, so this is not a frontline character. So you're going to need at least a couple of frontliners. Like, okay, so who do you get before you get to Arushale? That is charisma based. Ember, which is one of the two casters. So Sela has decent persuasion, but like if you're gonna have this character you're gonna want to have persuasion. With as high a charisma as they have, what are you doing, kid? You're just being a sentinel, I guess. I don't know. I hate going down below, like, one rank per level is just really kind of gross. So yeah, it is persuasion and lower religion. And like, with the wisdom that we have, the bonus from Acolyte, and the class skill, we're gonna have the highest persuasion out of anybody that we have access to. I'm not even entirely sure if Arushale beats us if we put all points, like if we have persuasion maxed out. Right. So we get spell focus, conjuration. Okay. Watching from up high, yeah, I guess. This would work really well if we were going angel. What conjuration spell? So the pit spells are conjuration spells, but I don't even know if you get access to those, do you? No. So what conjuration spells are we... What conjuration spells are we focusing on that requires spell DC? It's like, obviously there's the summoning. I don't know. Arushale's stat spread is busted enough that she can give the player character a run for their money. Like, you can't even use, like, inflict wounds as, like, an attack, because it's necromancy. It's not conjuration like Cure Moderate is. What spells do we have access to that are conjuration? Remove sickness. Summon. What offensive conjuration moves are there outside of the pit spells? And the angel spells, obviously, like I mentioned earlier. I don't think there are any. So we are boosting up wisdom. Summons don't require save DCs, though. So there's no real... I mean, I guess if we're going... Is this going a full summoner build? What feat do we get now? Now we get Meta Magic Extend. Which you get... This looks very similar so far to Sordara, except we swapped out heavy armor for spell focus conjuration. Like, only some... Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that it's only summons. Like, Dispel is Abjuration, yeah. Steering Light? No. Evocation. Will the auto build care beyond... Oh, this is a conjuration spell and pick that? No, because, like, the auto builds are designed by Owlcat. Like, Owlcat put these together. It's not some, like, AI generated thing. Bye, kitten. See you in a minute. Like, even prayer isn't conjuration. So what does... We're gonna continue. Extend meta magic, that's fine. Especially if we end up, well, if we were to end up going with the still don't get anything here. It's fine. This is almost identical so far. The only difference is this, and we had fire instead of water. Those are the only differences so far. Ignoring the mythics. Still boosting up wisdom. What the hell is this build? Reach? So they picked Reach way earlier than they did last. What is this build? Like, I'm not even mad about this right now. I'm just incredibly confused. I don't know what this is supposed to do. This build literally does nothing so far. Like, I'm just rushing through it. What the fuck? It's just get the meta magics. I don't even, like... What does this even do? What is this build? There we go. So you are supposed to be a summoner. We got to level 13 before we finally figured out what the fuck we're supposed to be doing here. We did it. We, ladies and gentlemen, we figured out what we're doing. We are a summoner. Fucking Christ. Alright. Level 13. We get augment summoning. I'd like to point out the fact that at level 13... we are either getting close to or are in the abyss. We are getting close to or have entered the abyss, and we finally have figured out what this build is. Imagine playing through the game with this auto build without knowing what's coming. And just being like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is this build? What is this thing even do? Because, like, at this point, you're like, especially if you're exploring and this is like a first or second playthrough and you don't really know how everything works yet, this could be dozens of hours into the game at this point, and you still don't know what your build is supposed to do. Okay, I will push back a little bit, Zins. Extend spell on a cleric is actually incredibly powerful, especially if you get enduring and greater enduring spells, and doubly especially if you go angel. Because if you do all of that, then you can get your rounds per level spells to be 24 hours. So it gets to be incredibly powerful as you continue on. Quicken and Reach, they got both of these for the last character as well. I mentioned last time I hate Reach as a meta magic. It's probably my least favorite. But Quicken is also incredibly powerful if you're using turn-based. If you're using real-time, less so, especially since you have to prep up these spells beforehand. But Quicken is one of the most powerful ones. I have a whole story about how I used Quicken meta magics to beat a mirror match against my GM, where we both played basically the same character. Yeah, I don't like that they chose these three before they did anything else. Even the extend spell, it's not going to be super useful until super... Well, extend is useful in the super early game and the super late game. It's not really useful in the middle, like right here where you're like 5 minutes for most minutes per most minutes per level spells. It's 5 minutes for minutes per level spells. 5 rounds for rounds per level spells, obviously. So this one isn't really helping that much at that point. I don't know. But then again, they get it as soon as they get access to level 3 spells. So this allows you to extend all of the buff spells like Bull Strength, Eagle Splendor. So there is a reason to take this at level 5. There's also not a huge number of super good level 3 spells. There's Prayer, Delay Poison, Dispel Magic to a lesser degree. And I guess Summon Monster 3. Now that we finally have Augment Summoning. But yeah. Reach spell can kind of fuck off. It's kind of trash. Nothing at level 14 because we don't get any choices every other level. And then, yeah, there's Superior Summoning, adding an extra summon. Enduring Spells does not work with summoning. Enduring Spells specifies buff spells. So only buffs get extended. However, you can use Extend on Extend does stretch the summon time, yes. And you can get it for free if you get the favored metamagic Extend, which I would probably recommend on this build. Yeah, buffing up wisdom all the way. Yeah, duh. They don't change that. Greater spell focus conjuration is completely useless. There's absolutely no reason to take this. Like legitimately, I would take before I would do that. I would take like improved initiative. Extra channel. Actually, no, at level 17, you have so many channel positive energies, it's not useful anymore. So, again, I will push back a little bit, Zins. So this will happen sometimes in auto builds where it recognizes that they've already selected a greater spell focus. So once you select greater spell focus, it will put the greater spell focus down in the thumbs down. And sometimes it will do that to itself during an auto build. Because like see like right here, it already shows that we've selected greater spell focus here, despite the fact that we haven't even gotten there yet. It's it's basically a bug, but it only really shows up in auto builds. And sometimes if you have bonus feats for a specific class, the normal feats will actually not recommend the things that are available via bonus feats. So like I've definitely seen a couple of builds where it will not recommend like improved critical or something. Maybe not improved critical, but something along those lines where it's like it is a good feat and it is something that you should pick, but it's available as a bonus feat, so it actually does not recommend in the normal feat list. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I am all for tearing down these builds whenever they're bad, but we got to be fair. We got to be fair to them. We have to be as accurate as possible. There's the toughness. We almost did it. We almost went a full build without taking the stupid feat. But we got it. It was the last one. This build is kind of trash. I don't know if you guys realize. This build is kind of trash. It doesn't really do anything. When I said that the vast majority of the time this build is just going to be sitting there in the back shooting a crossbow, so it should have higher dex, I didn't expect to be that's all it fucking does. It summons up minions and then it shoots people with a crossbow from the back. Yeah. And like it's fine if like not knowing things is perfectly fine. That's one of the reasons that I'm doing this. To expand my own knowledge. Is this the worst build so far? This is the most useless build so far, I think. This does the least, but it doesn't make me as angry as some of the other builds. It doesn't make me as angry as the Cavalier builds did. The Cavalier builds really hit me in the right places to just piss me right off. Yeah, we took less than 20 minutes on this build when we took an hour and a half on the one before, because there was just nothing to it. There's nothing to this build. Every feat is very generic. Everything that you take, the only two that actually like kind of indicate a focus in a certain direction is augment and superior summoning. That's literally it. And then they take greater spell focus conjuration, which, as far as I can tell, the only reason that you would take this is to prevent people from dispelling your summons. Because from what I could tell, there are no... Here, let's just go back and look. Are there any enchantment? This is going to be necromancy. Yeah. Oops. Excuse me? Heal Mass, Polar Midnight is transmutation, really? Yeah, conjuration, evocation. So no offensive conjuration spells there. That's gonna be necromancy, enchantment, transmutation, abjuration. We do get Rift of Ruin. So there's one conjuration spell so far, and it is a level 8. So we get Rift of Ruin. There's a couple of others that do the auto dispel at the beginning of a fight. I think Arilu actually does it in one of her phases. But yeah, it's very very unusual. Oh, here's another one. We got Chains of Light, so we're up to 2. We're up to 2 total spells that actually benefit from spell focus and greater spell focus conjuration. I was about to say, Blade Barrier might be a conjuration spell. Evocation, yeah. I mean, like, if you're fighting undead, heal. Or other healing spells could help. But, like, is that really worth taking feats? I would say no. Oh! Oh, never mind. Yeah, like, there's just not going to be it. There just isn't. Oh, here's number 3. So we got 3 total spells coming all the way down to level 5. We checked level 3, 2, and 1 earlier, so we'll check number 4. Is there another conjuration spell that benefits from spell focus? Oh, divination, evocation, abjuration, transmutation. Nope. So 3. 3 total spells. And the best one, obviously, is Rift of Ruin at level 8. And that's it. That's all we get. Now, there is a problem. Not going to actually let me out of this menu. Unless we go all the way through these 10 mythic ranks. So we're just going to alt F4. We're just going to kill the game. And we're going to restart it. Oh yeah, Arcane Caster I could see going for Conjuration. Like there could be some because things like I think Cloud Kill is Conjuration. And like we mentioned, all the pit traps, those are all Conjuration spells. There's definitely reasons to do it as an Arcane Caster, but as a Divine, not so much. All right, so I said that we were gonna do Warpriest as our third one. I have basically no experience with this class. So I'm kind of going off of... Fucking Christ. Right off the bat, really? Oh my god. Alright, what's Plume Kith? Dex and Wisdom. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about this one. +2 on mobility and athletics. Can use invisibility once per day. Still going the oblate, so we're getting... Wisdom instead of charisma while doing persuasion. 16 strength, 16 dex, 12 con, 18 wisdom, 8 charisma. So yeah, if we're not focusing on charisma, and I don't think the Warpriest gets like channel positive energy, channel energy or anything like that. So, and we got that 10 intelligence. We didn't dump intelligence, which I like. Which allows us to actually get 2 whole skill ranks per level. Only one of which we put into a class. Wait. What the fuck? So we take Oblate so that we can get Wisdom for Persuasion, but we don't put any ranks into Persuasion? How are you this bad this quickly? How are you anti-synergizing this quickly? I was like pretty all right with this. If you're going for like a medium armor build, the 0.5 going into it, maybe there shouldn't be a 0.5. It is flat. It's a flat 0. So the only time you get a 0.5 is if the modifier is an odd number. If the modifier is an odd number, you're going to get a 0.5 skill rank. So we only ever get these 2. Unless for some crazy reason they're putting points into intelligence, which I would be very upset if we find that out at level 4. So yeah, this is very counterintuitive. Like, A, perception is not a class skill, so we're not getting that +3. B, we have a thing chosen specifically to benefit you wisdom instead of charisma while attempting persuasion checks. Also adds persuasion and lore religion, which we're not putting anything into. We're putting nothing into either of the... So there's absolutely no reason to have chosen this as the background. You might as well have gone street urchin pickpocket for the extra initiative. There is 0 reason for this. That's a bit frustrating. I'm going to be completely honest. I kind of hate this. Alright. Speaking of hating this, fuck you. So, I have to... There's no point in taking toughness. There's definitely no point in taking toughness at the difficulty that we are at. Like, you have to expect somebody that is new to the game to be using these auto builds, right? Which means that these people are not going to be going into like the super hard difficulties. They're going to be playing on normal or less, most likely. Most likely, there are always exceptions. You do not need toughness
for these difficulties. In fact, what you would probably want to do is minimize misses, because misses are frustrating, especially when you get a lot of them in a row. So if you want to avoid frustrating a new player, instead of getting toughness for somebody who's going to be a melee character, as you can tell by the high strength and dex, you should get weapon focus. Or if you don't want to get weapon focus, because you don't want to lock somebody into a certain type of weapon right off the bat, get power attack, so that while they may not hit as often, they will hit a lot harder. Because that's another very satisfying feeling, is when you one-shot someone. So, yeah, I kind of hate all of this. Get Gorham. Spontaneously inflict. Interesting. So this is the first time that we've gotten channel negative energy. Wait. Oh, they get weapon focus for free. Oh, okay. I slightly rescind my prior statements. Still think toughness is shit. Still think they should take literally anything else. Get dodge. If you're wanting defense, get dodge. Okay, so wait, if we get channel negative energy, if we do get channel energy, which I did not realize, for whatever reason I thought that Warpriest did not. Da, 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 da. Damn it. Do war priests gain... Are they still based on charisma for their channel energy? That's basically what I'm trying to figure out here. Because if they are, dumping charisma kind of hurts. That's kind of what I am expecting them to be the same as clerics, where they do get their channel energy from charisma. Greatsword. I'm actually okay with Greatsword as a weapon choice. Does mean that we're not getting any shields, which I think does help that we are getting the plus the bonus dex, the extra dex for AC, because we're not getting any shields. I'm kind of okay with Greatsword. Like, it's probably one of the better two-handed weapons for you to use, without going into like exotic weapons. So we get strength. Half your war priest level on melee attack rolls. Combat maneuvers to rely on strength-based skills, and strength checks for 1 round. Okay. Not the best. I do like chaos. Oh, that is a little bit unfortunate. It's not the same chaos level 1 as chaos cleric gets. I really like the chaos touch that Harem gets in Kingmaker, where you basically give the enemy that you touch a you give them disadvantage for that round. It's really, really strong, especially in like higher difficulties, because you could just make people roll poorly on a consistent basis. Yeah, there's definitely some problems coming in here. The skills are bad. This feat is bad. Spontaneous Inflict, if we are already gimping... I mean, we're already gimping it because of our low charisma. But I think getting Spontaneous Inflict is really interesting, because if you get Selective Channel, you could basically just use this to damage most enemies in the game as an AoE for free. Well, for free. For one of your channels per day. Which can help clear out a bunch of the weaker enemies. It'll probably be weaker than if you just went down the cleave feats, but it's a lot cheaper feat-wise than going down the cleave feat route. So I'm kind of interested in this. This is interesting. This also makes it so that you're not like trying to take like Darren or Social's spot as like a healer. So you can still bring them in the party, which helps because you don't have persuasion, despite the fact that you have things that boost persuasion, but it's fine, I guess.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Follow if you dare.
All right. What else do we get? Yeah. Go away. Oh, it is based on wisdom. Never mind. Oh wait, this is different. So this is not... Okay, so this is not a, never mind. This is something different from channel negative energy. Okay. So you just get... Oh shit, we are going down the cleave feet route. Okay. Suddenly we are a much better physical attacker than we were before. By like a large margin. Power attack and cleave right off the bat. Cleave not going to be that good until we get cleaving finish. Because you're probably not going to want to... Are you a full... No, you're not full BAB. 3/4? Looks like 3/4, yeah. So it's a different ability in general. So you have channel positive energy, or in this case, we have channel negative energy, but we also have like a touch attack that we can use to damage people with negative energy as well. So it's two separate things. So yeah, power attack I really like for a physical attacker. Obviously boosts up our damage by a large amount. Cleave I'm also a huge fan of. I like my cleave feats. So I'm okay with this. Yo, Ragatalk. How you doing, my friend? Alright, what are we boosting? We are boosting strength. I was curious about that because we had both strength and dex at 16. After power attack, I assumed we were going to be going strength, but who fucking knows with these? Wait. Channeling negative energy causes burst damage. Amount of damage inflicted is evil. The DC of the save is equal to 10 plus half the Warpriest level plus the Warpriest wisdom modifier. So this seems to me that Warpriest channel energy is based off of their wisdom. Well, it literally spells it out right here. But it is based off of wisdom and not charisma. So taking that 8 charisma is not hurting our channel energy at all. Which is good. We like that. We like not sacrificing our fucking stuff. Oh, we also get Sacred Weapon. This seems to be somewhat like the Magus Weapon ability, where you can either buff it up by +1, 2, 3, 4, etc., or trade a various number of those for different aspects, like Keen. All right. Combat reflexes. We do have a +3 to our dex mod. So combat reflexes does allow us to get a lot of attacks of opportunity per round. However, we don't have any way to trigger it just yet. So I feel like this is a waste for now. Until we get some way to trigger all these attacks of opportunity. And we would need something that triggers multiple attacks of opportunity, not just one. So we will have to see how that goes. All right, so here we finally get Cleaving Finish. It looks like these are just bonus combat feats, so it is a long list of things that we can get. But yeah, I'm glad that we got Cleaving Finish. We got Cleave right here. Cleaving Finish is the next logical step. And yeah, very happy that we're seeing that. Dodge, I like dodge as a defensive option. Would I have taken it at this point? Honestly, I would have taken it instead of toughness if I was worried about defenses at that low level. But it's Owlcat. They love taking their toughness feats. So honestly, the main feats so far, the only one that I'm really happy about is power attack. Dodge is fine, but we do also have access to weapon specialization. We could be doing extra damage. Could be getting greater weapon focus. Right? Or is that later? One more level. Seems too smart to go with the cleave. Yeah. It might stop right here. One of the fighter builds went up to Cleaving Finish but didn't go any further. So we might see this build right here stop at Cleaving Finish, which I would not be surprised with, and I would honestly be fine with that. Just going up to Cleaving Finish is fine. There is a fair number of AoE fights where you get a lot of people there, but I think if it were to stop here, I would be kind of fine. Yeah, these spells and stuff, these are not choices that we can make for the build, so we're going to ignore them. Still boosting up strength. We don't have any other things to choose, so we're just gonna run away. Meta Magic Extend and then Vital Strike. Oh, okay. Vital Strike. I legitimately hate. I'm not. Okay. Vital Strike can be incredibly strong. You have to dedicate your build to it, kind of. You got it. You can't just take Vital Strike. You have to take all of the Vital Strikes. Improved, greater, mythic, you have to take all of them. Take one, you're taking them all, which is fine. And because we are not a full BAB class, we're not sacrificing too many. We're not sacrificing too many iterative attacks to boost up the damage of our main, right? So I'm kind of like my initial like knee-jerk reaction is get it away. But I'm kind of okay with it. Cleaving Finish does not work with Vital Strike. No, because Cleaving Finish actually yes it does. Wait, does it? So if you Vital Strike the main enemy and you kill that enemy, you will still get a cleave hit, but I don't think it'll be a Vital Strike hit. I think it'll just be normal. I've never used a Vital Strike build myself, so I can't say 100% though. I could just be mistaken on it. Yeah, that's what I believe, yes. But I'm not sure. I don't know for a fact that that's true. I would have to actually test it. Because it's set so, like, if you look at Cleaving Finish, make another melee attack using your highest base attack bonus. May only make one extra attack per round with this. So yeah, the way that this reads to me is that it's just a normal attack. It doesn't have any extra, like, it's, on the other hand, if you have like power attack and stuff like that on, it does use power attack and those types of things. I don't know. I would say that it is far more likely that it is just a normal attack, but I wouldn't say that it's guaranteed. We will leave it at that. We also get Extend Spell, which, I mean, if you're gonna get a fucking spell feat, Metamagic Extend is probably the best one for this kind of character. Basically what this means is you're gonna want to boost up the duration of your buff spells. That way you don't have to worry about them that long, or that often. Not sure how I feel about Extend Spell. I think it's okay. Vital Strike can be very strong as long as they dedicate as long as they like dedicate to it. Yeah, nothing here. Oh, it's a summon monster thing. Improved critical greatsword. Okay, so yeah, see, this is another one of those where it's not recommended, but I think this one is because it's a combat feat, so you can be taking it here. So this is just another example of what we saw earlier, where despite the fact that this is a very good feat to take, it is still not recommended. This time, I think because there's another source for it, but it could also be the same bug that we saw in the last build, where it's just, you already have this because I'm reading ahead of this particular level. So, just kind of confirmation of that particular bug. Okay, so it does look like they are focusing on it correctly. So we do have improved Vital Strike now, which is good. Like I said, if you take Vital Strike, you have to take all of the Vital Strikes. Would like to see these two at some point. We definitely have enough feats to get those. Let's see, if we take this, greater Vital Strike, greater weapon focus, weapon specialization, greater weapon specialization, greater cleave, greater cleaving finish. We could actually get all of the, like, finish off all of the things that we've started. The cleaving feats, the weapon focus feats, the weapon specialization feats, which we technically haven't started yet. And the Vital Strike stuff. if we take literally nothing but good feats from here on out, we can actually fit them all. Let's see if we do it. Let's see if they do it. This build is actually not... Need hammer the gaps up? Fuck off. Why you gotta say that? But speaking of, this is Owlcat. We do have critical focus. What this tells me they're not going to go any further than cleaving finish. That's what this tells me. Critical focus isn't the worst thing ever. So great swords have a 19 to 20 crit range. We have improved critical, meaning we have a 1 in 5 chance on any attack to get a critical hit. Critical focus increases the chances of confirming that crit. So I'm not super against this, but I would have preferred... Like, the problem is I know what they're going to go for. They're going to go for staggering critical here, and I'm going to cry. Because this is the shit critical build. Get tiring, get sickening, get tiring and exhausting. Don't get blinding. But I know what they're going to do. They're going to go for staggering critical. They're going to go for blinding critical, maybe. Let's find out. What are they going to do to me? No. 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 Why would you take Iron Will? Your will save is the highest save you have anyway. Why would you take Why would you take Arcane Armor Kit? These can't be real. These can't be real. Something has to have fucked up here. I legit, okay. I legitimately think that this is a mistake. This is a divine caster class, right? Warpriest is divine caster. Therefore, they don't incur arcane spell failure chance. So this feat is legitimate, like, it's actually useless. This feat does nothing. Iron Will boosts up our highest save. So I feel like this is just wrong. Like, I had a couple of nitpicks here and there with the build up to this point. Honestly, mainly a level 1. After we got past level 1, I was like kind of on board with the majority of the decisions made. This right here just murdered it, though. Because this is a divine spellcaster. They do not have arcane spell failure chance. There is no reason to take... What the fuck? Is there at all any reason? No, there's not. I was like, is there any reason at all to take this? No, there is. No. This is a waste. This is a waste. They just wasted this level entirely. And that really pisses me off. Because this build was going very well. This was a really good build up to this point. No shit. Okay. We still need to see greater Vital Strike. We have access to it at this point. We still need to see greater vital strike. Oh, also at this point, we can't take all the feats that we need, even to fill out the ones that we already have. Like even like, god damn it. That means that we're either not going to get greater weapon focus or we're not going to get weapon specialization. Like this build, for the most part, isn't bad. I actually kind of like it. For most of this build, I actually like it a lot. It's just, what the fuck is this doing here? What the fuck is this doing here? Get this out of here. Like, those are really the only three that I'm like, get them out. Get them out. Oh, also, we don't have a way to trigger multiple combat reflexes still. We have no way to do this yet. So that's unfortunate as well. 17. All right, so there's greater vital strike. So we got all of them. They did actually commit fully to vital strike, which is good because you need to. You need to do that. What does this even do? Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Fucking, oh my god. Now, lightning reflexes was the lowest of our saves. However, fuck you. There's my rebuttal. Fuck you, this is shit. So Ragatok, they waited only one level, I think, after they would have been able to get the greater vital strike. And at this point, so the thing is, at this point, what greater vital strike gives you, it gives you yeah. So basically what greater vital strike does, it gives you one extra damage roll. It does not add any other bonuses to it. It just gives you the extra damage roll. If you have Mythic Vital Strike, then it also adds all that stuff, which is why Mythic Vital Strike is so damn important. But it basically, they waited a level on Improve too, did they? I can't tell what the requirement is. Doesn't tell me. But on this hand, they took improved. If we could get it at level 11, they did take improved critical, which is another feat that I'm okay with taking over improved vital strike, because I think a critical with a great sword is ×2. Like, you definitely could have swapped these, and I would have been fine with that as well. But I'm not overly mad about any of these choices. The ordering might have been able to be improved a bit, but I'm okay with it for the most part. And honestly, if you got rid of these two right here, you could have put Sickening here, taken like greater weapon focus here, and then you would have been able to take greater vital strike here. That would have been fine as well. And then maybe swap improved critical and improved vital strike here, but those are much smaller issues. Definitely the main one is literally level 15. Level 15, they definitely shat the bed. Especially with this one. What the fuck were they thinking? Arcane armor training on a divine caster. Leaving finish at 5. Yeah. That's true. We did never get a trigger for the combat reflexes. Unless this doesn't give, like, a trip or anything, right? No. Yeah, there's no trigger to get rid of, or there's no way to trigger the combat reflexes attack of opportunity. Um, Toughness is a shit feat in general. I would replace that with something else. Weapon focus, dodge. Could put dodge up in front of toughness. So if we were, so let's see if we can't optimize this a bit, huh? Dodge up here instead of toughness. That's fine. You get a little bit of defense at level 1 to help you survive a bit, especially since we learned that we get weapon focus for free. Yeah. You get weapon focus for free. Why is it damage living? Are you undead? No, we are not undead. Oh, we never got selective channel. Oh, shit. Okay. Here's the new plan. Selective channel at 1. Although I guess we don't get channel negative energy until 4. So power attack at 1, selective channel at 3, along with cleave. Cleaving finish at 5. Does vital strike require? Okay, here I'm gonna do a bit of googlings. You need base attack bonus 6, so we couldn't take this before level 6 anyway. For vital strike. So okay, so selective channel here. Power attack, cleave. Or I'm sorry, power attack, selective channel, cleave. Dodge. Instead of combat reflexes. We could take vital strike here. Or actually, no, cleaving finish, vital strike, dodge. Improve critical. Could move that here, I think. Right? Let me just double check. Base attack bonus of 8. So we got improved critical the instant that we could. Okay. Can't get selective channel before you get channel. Okay, then we could just replace this one with selective then. Place it at 5. Why does it not show that? Oh, shit. Here, let's just... Vital. Okay, so here. They're all right here. Alright, so improved vital strike requires a base attack bonus of 11. So... we actually got it early. We actually got improved Vital Strike early because we only have the base BAB of 9 at this point. So that's weird. What about greater? What is the requirement for greater? Is 16? We only get 15. Wait, how the hell do we have greater Vital Strike then? So how did we get these early? Unless it's just different in the game? Or because they're they're bonus feats? Think fighters get them early? SRD doesn't say anything about that. I just do this. Nope, not found. BAB is your level for feats as Warpriest? Maybe. Warpriest can designate a weapon as a sacred weapon by selecting that weapon with the weapon focus feat. Wait, what the hell does that mean? Warpriest hits with his sacred weapon. The weapon damage is based on his level and not the weapon type. What does that mean? Video game, you have to describe what that is. What does that mean? You gonna come up again, Show? There we go. Monk style, I'm assuming yes, but it doesn't fucking specify, which is frustrating. Like, this is something... Use throwing darts and do greatsword damage? Wait. How does that make sense? Because it doesn't say that you can choose to use that weapon's damage as opposed to another weapon's damage. It just says you can use your level instead of that weapon's damage. Wait. The sacred weapon damage means the damage bonus from this ability, not the damage bonus from that weapon, is how I'm reading it. It's the same as the Monk's Fist progression. Thank you. Thank you, because this was incredibly poorly worded. See, this is the thing about a lot of Owlcat stuff. They tend to leave out very important information. Yes, you can infer what they mean, but unless you go and test it, you can't confirm. They need to be very, very specific with words like this. It's kind of it's an issue that I have with a lot of games where, like, they don't give specific numbers, right? They will say a thing, but they won't give the actual numbers for that thing. Like, you know, you'll get like a piece of armor in a video game, and it'll be like, if you do this, then you gain a bonus to your fire damage for 30 seconds. But it won't tell you how much your damage the bonus is, right? Starts at 1d6, becomes 1d8 at 5, ends at 2d8 at level 20. Okay. Yeah, I guess I should have just looked it up. I already have the SRD pulled up for Greater Vital Strike at the moment. Which that doesn't make any sense with this either, because we should not be able to get Improved or Greater Vital Strike. Also, fuck this level. Level 15 and level 19 suck. Not sure how it works, just remember seeing builds people made with using daggers and doing greatsword damage. That's weird. That is very strange. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Because we're about 5 minutes from 9 o'clock. That means that it is about time for me to go and get ready for work. So here's the thing. I'm not scheduled for work tomorrow or Thursday because there is some confusion with my schedule. It has since been dealt with. But I have these 2 days off, which means we're going to be doing extended streams on these days. Even on Thursday, yes, I normally take Thursday off, but we will be streaming this Thursday. Tomorrow we will be continuing our God of War playthrough. Where the hell are we? Oh yeah, we're in Alfheim. We had just started through Alfheim. I got stuck on a puzzle last week at the end of the stream, so we'll be starting up fresh this week trying to figure that puzzle out. Thank you, Ragatok. Thank you. Okay. That makes sense. So that makes sense why he was... Yeah, that makes sense as to why he has the Vital Strikes all on bonus feats. Okay. I'm fine with that. That actually benefits this build quite a bit. So yeah, we'll be doing some God of War on Wednesday, and on Thursday, I'll be doing my first ever live Kingmaker speedruns on the YouTubes here. We will probably start the night out with me watching the current world record. Because it has been a while since I've done a speedrun. I'm a bit on the rusty side of things. So I wanna rewatch that video first, go over it with you guys, I'll explain what's going on, talk over it a bit. And then, yeah, we'll get into it. We'll do a couple of Kingmaker runs on Thursday. And then, Friday, what did we roll last week? Oh, yeah, Friday we're going to be doing Ghastly. We're going to be doing the Ghastly solo run through Pokemon Red on Friday. Hopefully we'll be able to get that done pretty quickly so we can get some more Weedle run going after that. And then on Saturday, we'll have to see how Friday goes. We'll have to see what we roll up next. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and watching. I appreciate y'all, as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you all have a good evening. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.